Good evening. Howdy, howdy. How are we doing? It is your boy Jacob from United Spurs of America. Once again, after a defeat, Tottenham nil, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. At a loss for words, and I think after what we saw in the FA Cup, it's kind of hard not to be. I'm a little down. I just really thought that this game was wide open for a majority of it. The first half was boring, kind of what we expected. I thought right as soon as we hit 45 minutes in the first half, I thought the game really then opened up with that extra, what was it, 8 minutes of stoppage time, something like that. But it is unfortunate. I don't want to be the guy who said, I told you so. But off the top of the show, I will say, I told everybody. You let Adama Traore play against this defense, against the left side. If Perisic is playing, I said, if Perisic plays, Adama Traore will tear him apart. Ben Davies didn't do much to help him. Højbjerg seemed, I don't know what that was today. He had one good moment in that entire match. Outside of that, I don't know. I thought Heung-min son, Heung-min father, Heung-min dad, he was, for me, the player who looked like he wanted it the most. I thought Kane went missing, and it's unfortunate. I have a running theory that maybe when Kane wears this captain armband, it's just not quite the same player. Maybe he's thinking too much. I don't know. I want to know what y'all think in the chat. If you think I'm crazy, if Kane wearing the armband, is he a different player? That's what I want to know. I'm going to say what's up to some people in the comments real quick. But before I do that, please make sure you are smashing a like one time for the man David and Jack Knicky. Please do it for them. And then secondly, do it for me. And thirdly, do it because it's free. It don't hurt nobody. All it does is help Jack and help David over here at the Irish Hotspur. So please do that for them. They're on the march to 10K. So I'm going to tell you, like I tell everyone else, share this video with your mother, your brother. Share the watch along, like the watch alongs. I already have some beautiful guests lined up in the back to kick off this fan show, so I hope y'all are going to have a good time. But please do hit that like for David. He's not feeling too well today, so it might make him feel a little bit better. Maybe not because we lost, but maybe if you like this video a lot for him, show him. We get over 100 likes throughout this video. I think David will be a little bit less upset maybe about the loss. I don't know. We'll see. But please do hit that like, get your thoughts in, hit the comments, hit the super chats, get that membership to Irish Hotspur. Okay, you get that membership, then you get the chat. You can call in with me. You can call in throughout the week with Jack and David whenever they do the call-in shows. It's one of those memberships that I really think you get the bang out of your buck. I mean, you spend $7 on Netflix every month, and they're not even that good anymore. You can spend less and get more content here. Show some support for David and Jack, two wonderful, wonderful lads, despite the not wonderful, wonderful performance that we saw on the pitch. But before I bring in the first guest, let me say what's up to everyone in the chat. First place trophy goes to Chris. Chris, you have won the first place trophy. You had the first chat of the day. Big up yourself. You know, it comes to a point where I think there's any point ruining my Saturday night watching us play. I think Spurs free month incoming. Don't do it, Chris. Don't do it. I know how you're feeling, buddy, but hang in there. Hang in there. Big up Steve D was saying it when we had our best ever start to a season, clear as day. Wins weren't by design. Conte is strangling the soul out of our football. First it was the defense. Now it is our front. Conte out. That's where Steve D lies. Chris, talking to Steve D a little bit. Big up KPV, the legend, the one and only. KPV, I saw you jumped in the back. I know it's not David. I know it's not Jack. But, man, I would love for you to come on, and I would love to have a chat with you, KPV, if you are still listening. Please do join in the back. I would love to have a chat with you, my man. Big up yourself, Steve D. And Chris, having a little conversation. Big up John Stokes. Says, evening, everyone. Big up, John. Hope you're doing well. Tough one today. I definitely agree. Taking Kulu for Lucas. Why not Danjuma? We'll get into it, Chris. We'll get into it. Why not call in, Chris? I see your membership. You get the link. You can call in, come have your say, and bring up all these points that you're putting out. Appreciate you being here as well. Big up Colin Turner. Hope you're doing well. Big up Daniel Sandoval. What a game. One love. Despite the loss, despite a win, Daniel Sandoval will be here saying one love. So big up yourself, Daniel Sandoval. Thank you for being here. Hasper's in the house. Leave you out. Enoch out, says Hasper. Let me know if you agree with him. We also got Swim Master in the house. Who else are we going to say hello to? Gutted by a result. Got a feeling we'll be out of the Champions League very soon. Then nothing to play for, as I can't see us holding on to a top 4 finish now. Just a matter of time till we're off top 4. That's true, but Newcastle did lose. Liverpool, we are 6 games up, or 6 points up with a game. They have a game in hand. So they can't catch us technically, not yet, but we'll see what they do this weekend. Let's see. Hasper says that's only the second goal Adama has scored this season. Hashtag Spursy. Everyone's sleeping. Everyone laughing at me. Everyone, ha, 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 Jacob. Ha, 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 Mr. Man who loves oily man. Mr. What they call me? Oil Arms FC. This is what happens to an average, a decent to average to maybe slightly above average winger, and this defense will be put in roller skates, especially if we have Perisic out there. I've been saying he's a liability. I called it. I said if Adama plays and Perisic plays, it's over. He's going to score. And what had happened? Thank you, J. Co. You were there. You heard my prediction. My prediction came true, my friend. It sucks to say I'm right, because I definitely did not want to be right. Did not want to be right. I did not want to see Adama score versus Spurs and get the game-winning goal. That's absolutely atrocious from us. Big up Colin Turner. Big up Wayne Bonner. Hope you're doing well. Wayne Bonner says, what the F was that? What is this club prioritizing, top 4 or Champions Leagues? Give that captain's armband to PEH. It's a conversation to be had. I do wonder. I brought it up off the top of the show. What's up with Harry Kane? Why is it when he puts this armband on, he seems just different? Not saying he's not good. Not saying he don't produce. I'm just saying, why does he seem different? I don't know. That's just my Kev Williams. Big up Kev Williams in the house has a question. Does Conte want to be at our club? And will he be gone before the end of the season? David Harris has said if we lose Wednesday, he thinks Conte will get the sack. At least I saw that in a chat. I'm not trying to put words in Dave Harris' mouth, but I saw him in a chat say that today after the loss. I don't know if it's true. I'm of the mindset you let him go. You let him run out his end of his contract. It's going to cost us less money that way. I think we'll have to pay like 2.5 on it if we do give him the sack. So, I mean, if we're always talking about money and we need money for this, money for that, to me, don't sack the man. Let him see. I mean, this season for me, it's already kind of been a wash because FA Cup was really my last hope at glory. I was like top 10 finish, FA Cup, I'm happy. No FA Cup, I don't really care about top 4 in my opinion. It'll be good going forward, I guess, for the next manager, but it might just clog up our schedule again, make things harder. Hope David gets well soon. Yeah, smash that like for David. Simon Cohen, hi, Jacob. Same old Spurs. Ain't that true? Same old Spurs. Big up Simon Cohen. Thanks for being here. Netflix is better than Spurs, to be fair, but not better than the Irish Hotspur, I will say. Big up everyone in the chat. Daniela Zito's in the house. Hi, Jacob. Just really fed up with the whole thing. These recent results are unacceptable, and we don't deserve these results. No, we do not. I agree with you, but big up, Daniela. Good to see you here. Again, consecutive weeks of the fan show. Jacob, what do you think will happen versus AC Milan? I think we'll lose. It's tough. It's tough for me to really, right now, how I'm feeling, we just lost. Naturally, I'm going to feel like we're going to continue that, but there's a little part of me that thinks, Spurs like to do this thing where we constantly let ourselves down, we let the fans down, let them down, and then we do something great. We do something like beat City, and they're going to go on and win the league last year. We did it this year. We drew with Chelsea when Chelsea was supposed to be this big up-and-coming team when they still had Tuchel. So I'm just saying, anything's possible. It's at home. A 2-0 victory over Milan at home ain't impossible. Milan is not the best AC Milan of last year. They're not the Scudetto winners of last year. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is healthy, though. That does scare me. But big up, Daniela. Good question. Chris Chris, Poro didn't do badly. The rest, Sonny Kane, Kulusevski, second half non-existent. Big up David Maposa says Levy out. Big up Paul Brown. Eat, sleep, repeat, Jacob. Eat, sleep, repeat. It was a little angry emoji. Paul Brown, I share your sentiments, my friend. Eat, sleep, repeat. Hope you're eating good. Hope you're sleeping even better. And hopefully just repeat that, and maybe we get some Spurs glory out the way. Colin, big Conte out, says David Maposa. Ryan Ricardo, big up Ryan Ricardo. Tottenham knew how to ruin a weekend. Yes, they did. John Stokes, Conte in, players and Levy out. We've had the same crap for 9 years for numerous managers, so wake up and smell the same crap players. Owners stinking the place out. It's a great comment there, John Stokes. And I see you're a membership too. Call in, my friend. We got a couple callers ahead of you, but please do call in. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear the gripes and moans and complaints, because at the end of the day, this is like therapy for me. This is like therapy for you. We can help each other out. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. We just get it off our chest. And at the same time, maybe have some kind of positive outlook. Maybe we'll talk about it with our first guest, but let me go ahead and bring her in. We're almost hitting at the 15-minute mark. So please do keep smashing that like. I see over 100 people are watching right now. 100 people watching. Let's get those likes up for David Harris and all the work that he and Jack Knickie do every single match day. Whether we win or lose, both of them show up. Tottenham may not show up, but David and Jack show up. You know who else shows up? My first guest. I'm going to bring in the one and only Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. How are you doing, Mia?
Yeah, as well as you can be, really, after watching that rubbish.
You were in the chat of Sava's charity stream. I have a list of questions in my head that I'm going to ask you later, but off the top, I do want to ask you, Mia, you were one of the people in the chat calling me crazy, calling me, what was it? I was getting some banter because I was having a little Adama rant last night, early this morning for y'all folk in the UK. But what do you think? My prediction came right.
I wasn't actually taking the mick out of your prediction. I was taking the mick out of your obsession with this man who likes to baby oil his arms. I just said that. I didn't say nothing about your prediction, because I even said that we've got to be careful of him if he plays, because I know what
you did say that, though. That, to be fair, I will throw that. You did say we must be careful for him, but
yes, see, I only said it because you love him a bit too much in his baby oil. It just gets me a bit concerned, you know, a bit like he likes it a bit too much.
The thing is, it's an accumulation of everything for me, because I think the sheer threat of him down on the right, we saw what he did to below average to average defense. I don't care what you want to call this defense. I don't think it's anything above average. And for me, it's a little bit below average. But you see, you see what Adama does whenever he plays, quite frankly, some left-handed players that just aren't doing that great. And that's what we saw. He had a great cross into the box to what was his name? The Mexican striker. I'm slipping
Jimenez.
his name. Yeah, Raul Jimenez. I don't know why. I was just talking about him last night. But he had a great cross into him. But Fraser Forster was standing on his head a lot. I thought Fraser Forster had a really good game. For the most part, he was keeping us in the game. That's what he did versus West Ham. That's what he did versus Chelsea. Even the games we do win, you look at City, he kept us in some of that. AC Milan, he kept us in some of that. But what did you make out of this 11? And I'll start with Fraser Forster. How do you think that he did despite the loss?
I think that he did okay. I don't think that. I think the way that the ball come in, it was too hard for him to catch it. I think it was too hard. He wouldn't have been able to grab it, if that makes sense, because it come at him so hard. So I think he thought by pushing it away, it was the best thing to do. So although he obviously could have maybe done better, I don't completely think that the whole game was awful for him, because I do think he did make some good saves. Like, he got down quick. One of the times they hit the ball and he got down really quickly and got his hands to it, you know. So I think he did okay overall, if I'm honest, for Forster.
So I'm gonna try and be as non-partial as I can here, because I am one half of United Spurs of America. So I will let you in on so Michael and I were talking about Fraser Forster a little bit, and he said in the first half, why would you catch Or why wouldn't you catch that and not parry it over the bar with one of the shots? And I made the argument, well, that shot had a lot of mustard on it, and as a keeper, you're trained, if it's a power shot, don't try and catch that because it's going to go through your hands. So you want to parry that away. And then we saw with the goal, an example of maybe a time in which he could have caught it, maybe not parried it away. They get a rebound. I mean, they were getting second chance opportunities a lot because of the shots that were coming in. But again, to me, that falls on the defense. So let's talk about it. Romero, Longley, Davies, what did you make of the back line?
I don't think that any of them covered themselves in particular glory today. I don't think that they did. They weren't all like, because they didn't really have much in the first half. They didn't have that many. But in the second half, they just started taking pot shots from outside the box, and nobody was closing them down. So I feel like they didn't do great. Even Romero, I'm somebody who will criticise people, even if I like them and adore them, like I do with Romero. I will say that he as well, he was really frustrating me at the end. He kept doing those silly like things where he knew that he was going to give a free kick away and they were going to just kill the time. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, don't do that. That's what they want you to do. You know, use your head a little bit, try and get it. So I know they were purposefully being time wasting, but you've got to try and, you know, stay on your feet. Don't keep giving them the chance to have free kicks where they're going to waste more time, you know. So I did get a bit frustrated with Romero. I don't think he was at his best today. And Davies in that position, I'm not a fan. And Longley is a bit weird because can I just say, like, I'm not a massive Dyer fan at all, but I don't know if Longley really works in that position. I don't know. He was okay, but
it was almost like they were preparing for, I think we're without Dyer for Milan, if I'm correct. So I think it was a little bit of they wanted to see who's going to play centrally. I thought Longley struggled. He gave away a couple opportunities. I think he wasn't that sharp. But again, I thought for the most part, we all weren't really sharp.
No.
I don't know. But let's move to the wing backs. Pedro Porro, it's his third, fourth official start for the club. And it's the third or fourth official loss. Seems that when he starts, we lose. I don't want to make that correlation. But what did you make? I thought he was improved. I will admit, he seemed more confident. And in the first half, when we were really dead, I could hear him. I could hear him yelling on the pitch. So to me, that says everyone else was playing very dead around him. If he's the only, so I'm wondering, what did you make of Pedro Porro? His some odd start. Do you think that he was good? Do you think he was improved?
I definitely think he was improved. That free kick that he took just shows we actually have someone who can take a free kick. And then the other free kick we got, he didn't take it. I'm like, who makes these decisions? Why is he not taking it? Because clearly he is good at taking free kicks.
Yeah, that was a nice one, wasn't it?
It was.
That thing smacked the bar. Oh man! Michael texted me saying, "I've never screamed so loud for a free kick, and so it's been a few years since I've screamed for a Spurs free kick."
Exactly. So, but don't get me wrong. Like with Porro, I do feel like people are jumping on him a bit too quickly. He is very new, and I think he has to get confidence. He has to get used to the league. And I'm not going to say that he was awful because I think it's not really fair. It's not fair to judge these players so quick after only having just a few games. You know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. He has to get a run in before we can. The way I see it, you got to have at least half of a plate before you can tell me what the dish tastes like. So I agree with you. It's a little too early. What about Ivan Perisic? To me, a liability defensively. Showed that once again today. Pretty much ineffective going forward. Pretty much a disappointing overall performance again from Ivan Perisic. What'd you make of the left wing back over there, Mia?
I actually would have picked Davies in that position. I know that obviously it was difficult today because we weren't going to play Dyer, but for me, I wouldn't have played Perisic in that position because I said in that position, he's not good enough defensively, and he's not. And I know that obviously he can do a corner, maybe not too bad at corners, but that's it. What else does he have to offer? He doesn't get back enough. That's why with Davies, he will get back and help with the defence as well, where Perisic doesn't do that. So for me, I think he's useless in that position. He's too old in that position to get up and down the pitch. It's too much for him. You know, when you get older, your legs go, as I well know.
It is
in
true.
My old years.
Whether you
in
want
my
it
old
to or
years.
not. Yeah, whether you want it to or not, it's going to happen. Irish Gooner, big up Irish Gooner, says, Spurs fans, what are you saying now? Ha ha ha, bottle jobs. I don't even know if it's a bottle job necessarily, because you have to possess the bottle in order to then bottle it. In my opinion, we do not possess the bottle, therefore we cannot be bottle jobs. We are just woeful.
Also, is that all you've got, really? Like, you're top of the league and you're going to come in here to talk to us after all those years you used to win stuff, and now that's all you've got? That's your trophy? Yeah, congratulations.
Big up Savvy. Big up Matero. Matero? I don't know how to say your name, my friend. Sorry for butchering it. Like this name. Reese Nelson is not greater than Son, Mr. Titso. Excuse me, Mr. Soft. However you want me to call your name. Big up Daniel Field. Liking the cello in the bag. I'm trying to bring some good vibes. I'm breaking up the conversation a little bit, because if I think about the match too much, I get too upset. So I'm keeping my cool. I'm feeling good, Mia. But let's keep going. Let's keep talking about this 11. Oliver Skip, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the middle.
I thought that they weren't really effective in the middle, were they? I think they were okay in that first half, but they weren't really effective, especially when they changed their formation. It just, they weren't very effective at all. I like a few times, Skippy got the ball, but then a few times they gave the ball away as well. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? They're pressing you and you're doing these silly haphazard passes. So, I don't think they were that great. I don't think they were just a bit meh. And I think that they didn't really do anything special in that game.
Gotta agree with you, Mia. Big up Steve Feltner. The defense, Spurs didn't score. I was saving it. I'm saving it for last, Mia. What do you make of this showing yet again from Dan Hulisevsky, Harry Kane, and Heung-min Son? I'm not even going to give him his nickname today. I did think he was the best out of the three, if you ask me, and that's not being biased either. That's being objective. What did you make of the front three? Who let you down the most, and who was the best of a bad bunch?
I think with Kane, they did have someone man marking him the whole of that first half.
Yeah,
he literally couldn't breathe without having the player down his neck. Like, he probably got closer than he does with his wife. Do you know what I'm saying?
But he's Harry Kane, right? He's Harry Kane. He's got to deal with that. You're arguably one of the best strikers in the world. You're going to call attention, in my opinion. You got to learn to deal with it. I thought he did okay in the first half, but disappeared in the second.
I do understand that he obviously has to deal with it, but I'm just saying that it was more difficult for him because he was literally being covered by by a player. Sonny did okay, but again, I find sometimes he doesn't look up enough. He doesn't look about what's around him enough sometimes, and he holds the ball for too long, and it drives me bonkers. I'm like, release the ball. You've got all these players around you. You're not going to get past them. Just release the ball a bit quicker, because then they won't get a chance to get around you. He does infuriate me a little bit with that. Kulu, he had maybe a couple of runs, but I can't remember anything special from Kulu like he normally would. Not particularly.
He had a couple shots that he hasn't been doing.
A couple of shots, but nothing really. Nothing much, not like he has been in the past. So again, I think that front three, I said this about the Sheffield United game. The defence cost us a goal, but the attack cost us the game. Because if they would have finished their dinner in their first half of that game, we would have been well away. But we didn't. So it's down to them as well. And I don't think they get enough criticism. People are quick to criticise the defence, but they're not really that quick to criticise the front three. And they're meant to be our best players, and they don't turn up. And they don't do enough.
I agree with you, Mia. I didn't see enough from Dan Kulusevski. Harry Kane, you're right. He was man marked out the match. Human Son, he tried. Maybe a couple times he could have passed it when he shot it. I don't know. I just think it was just an overall shit performance. No one really looked like they wanted it, similar to the Sheffield United thing. So let me ask you this, Mia. Do you think the lack of Antonio Conte signing a contract is affecting the mentality of these players?
I think that we've got to take into account that it probably somewhat is because they're human, and in the back of their minds, they might be thinking, "Well, he's not committed, so I'm doing this for what? Like, he's not even going to be here." I don't know, but I don't think that's the right mentality to have because I feel like when you put on my shirt, you should be playing for my club. You're not the club. We are the club. The fans are the club. Because no matter if players go, managers go, um, boards of directors go, whatever the scouts go, whoever goes, the club is only the club because of us, because we support them for years and years of our lives. So we're the club. So when people put our shirt on, that's our shirt. It's not anything with them, it's ours. And they should be more respectful of that. And that's where my problem lies, is a lot of them don't have the respect for the shirt and that badge.
Fair enough. Um, I Mia, I can't really rebuttal anything you're saying other than just nod along and agree because at this point, I feel like it's just a matter of what else do we expect, right? Did we all think this was going to be the game that we bounce back? Maybe it'll be Milan. Maybe that's what we do. So I want to look forward real quick, Mia, before I let you go. Can't really do man of the match. Can't do a BDE. So I am going to ask you, what do you think about the Milan game coming up? They're coming to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you think that there's a chance that we could get this
Mm.
back in advance? And if we do advance, what's the point? Because if once we get a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich, I think that's see you later. But that's just me
Yeah.
personally. I feel like we're way out of our depths as it is, and we are lucky that Milan is at the level they're at, which maybe we could take advantage of. What do you think about next the Champions League
I,
coming up?
I think that if we don't have Champions League and we have one game a week, then we could possibly. I know people are not going to like it, but top four is important when it comes to the things that it brings, which is the money. And I know people don't like that, but the thing is, we're a self-sustaining club, and any money into the club is a positive. And I want top four because I feel like obviously the higher up in the league you are, the better. Like that's just the way it is. Like I don't want to finish fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth. No, that's not what I want. I know it's not a trophy, and I'm not trying to say that it is, but I know that it does bring the money into the club. And I know again people don't like it, but we've got to accept that is part of it. And if we've got one game a week, we can concentrate possibly more on that. And Conte is better when he has one game a week to concentrate on. So I feel like that it wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing for us to go out, although I wouldn't like it. I want us to stay in the Champions League for as long as possible, but I just don't think it's feasible. We're going to meet a bigger team, a better team at some point. You know, a lot of teams are better than us, and even the game on Wednesday, I don't know if we're even going to bother to win it. Like, I don't know if our players are going to bother to turn up. So,
It's a great question, Mia. And unfortunately, one I do not have an answer for you. I wish I did, but I do not. Mia, I do want to ask you one final question. Outside of this, name me one thing you're thankful for so we can end this call at least on a somewhat happy note. This is something my wife and I do before every meal. We just say at least three things we're thankful for, but I'll only ask one of you tonight. Um, you got anything you're thankful for outside of Tottenham Hotspur?
I'm
Uh,
thankful for the good health of my family.
there you go.
So, you know, my boys, they're my absolute world, and they're happy, they're healthy, and that's the most important thing in my life. I know that Spurs is something that is important to me, but the most important thing to me is my children. So,
Absolutely. I resonate with that, Mia. Thank you so much for joining today. That is now 4 weeks in a row. Am I right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Four fan shows in a row that you have joined me. So thank you for that, Mia. You have made this a very gentle transition for me. So thank you for
And
calling in.
also
Also,
you're doing. Oh,
hang
go on.
on. Before I let you go, just keep chatting. I'm going to put your link
Oh,
in the chat, and tell us where
I was gonna.
people can find you and when the next time you're going to be putting something out is.
I've actually just done my video on Spurs Between the Lines. I'm going to edit it and put it out hopefully tonight about the game. So you'll be getting more of my thoughts on the game. If you can go over, give that a watch, give some of my other content a watch and a like. I'd really appreciate it. And also, just let you know, I told my son that I was coming on to speak to you, and he was very happy. He was like, "Oh," because I told you before he likes your voice, so he was like,
Oh,
"Oh, he's speaking." I was speaking to Jacob today, the one with the nice voice that you like, and he's like, "Oh, really?" So yeah, just so I thought I'd compliment you because he knew I was coming to speak to you today,
thank
and
you
he
for that.
and also you're doing a fantastic job. Go over and make sure you sub to Jacob and his channel that he has with Michael. Great channel. I often watch it back because they do it at silly time for me and I'm in bed. So I don't watch it live often. So but I do watch them back and have a good giggle at what they say. You know, they're lovely guys and they deserve lots more subs and definitely deserve all they've got so far.
Well, thank you for that, Mia. Your words humble me. Yeah, there it is. Spurs Between the Lines. You can catch Mia there. Go give her a like and subscribe one time for David and Jack and myself. Show her some love. Mia, thank you for joining today again, and hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully, it gets better than this. It can't get worse. So,
Well, yeah, fingers crossed it don't get any worse because anytime you say that, then something bad will happen. It always happens in
fair
threes
enough. That's
normally.
yep, yep.
So let's
I'm
not
gonna
curse it.
steal that and throw that away. Yeah. Big up, Mia. Thank you again.
No worries. I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. All right. A semi cutter off, so I'm only going to put a point 0.5 on my cutoff of Mia that week. As you know, I'm 2-2 or 2 of 4, so I guess that'll make me 2.5 of cutting Mia off before she actually finishes saying what she's saying. But big up Mia, thanks for being here. Colin Turner says, "I'm thankful for waking up." Colin Turner, I am thankful for waking up as well. Sometimes when Spurs does this to us, we just must dig deep and find reasons to be thankful for. This may be one of those moments. Yes, the only good thing right now is the host calming voice. Big up Spurs 89. Thank you for saying that. You flatter me. Speaking of someone who flatters me, and is always a pleasure to speak to, I'm going to welcome in the one and only Dermatron from THFC Till I Die. Dermot, talk to me. We lost. What you thinking?
After 40, hang on now, 41 or 42 years of following this club, I am finally broken and done tonight. That's it. I'm done.
That's it. That's the straw.
That's the straw that broke. Look, I've always been very in the middle, one way or the other. I've always been behind Conte. I've always been like Conte in. Let's get behind Conte. Let's get behind. But again and again, it's the players and the tactics and how we set out to play. It's not the Tottenham way. We cannot keep going on like this. And
No, we can't.
as much as I love Conte, as much as I really, really, really want him to succeed, it's like buying a 5-star Michelin 5-star restaurant and putting Joe Bloggs, who worked in the local chippy, in charge of it. You're not gonna have a business. So let's call a spade. I want a total reset. I want the owners gone. I want these players gone. And I think Conte has to go.
So it's now. It's now. There was a poll that was put out in the Irish Hotspur group chat, and out of the 4 answers, which ones did you select? I don't have YouTube control over the Irish Hotspur YouTube, but I would like to put a poll out there. But I can't do it. I like to do that on United Spurs of America. But what did you pick in that poll? If you don't mind me asking,
I put on Conte go now.
Go now. It's
Go
done.
now.
Don't even wait till Wednesday.
No, don't even wait to go now. Look, there's something fundamentally wrong within the players, within the dressing room, within somewhere. Something isn't right. That's 2 games in a row where, okay, for a kick here or a kick there today, we could have won 2-1. But we just don't have the luck. And as I said before, we're not giving Conte what he wants. He's been through a hell of a lot. He's lost 3 close friends. He's away from his family. Just let the man recover. You wouldn't keep a dying animal alive if he needed putting down.
Oh, no.
Seriously, though, would you?
I'm sorry.
Seriously, would you?
No, you would not, Dermot. But I don't know that I'm mentally there where I'm like, Conte's a dying animal. I hope that's not the case.
No. What I mean by that is you wouldn't, as a club, we're dying. Our identity's not there anymore.
Oh,
as a club, we are dying on our knees.
Gotcha.
The club that we all loved is dying. And out of the ashes is coming Tottenham Hotspur multi-sport stadium. Where is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? Where's the passion for our history?
It's at the very end of our description in our bio, Dermot. We are a sports go-kart entertainment facility, NFL, Adele facility. And then also there's some Tottenham Hotspur. I just find that funny on the website where we even prioritize describing how we describe ourselves is often a great illustration of our desires, right? Like if I was to go on a dating website, say, oh, I'm so tall, I'm so lean, but I'm not lean. I mean, I am tall, but so it's like you want to talk about the things that maybe you possess or you're good at or you're aspiring for. And as a football club, we are aspiring for what exactly? A fucking go-kart track around our stadium? What's going on here?
Look, I'm a massive F1 fan for this go-kart thing. My own view.
I love Mario Kart, Dermot.
Yeah, but it's great for the community. It's great for the youngsters in that community that don't have a lot to do. So it gives them something to do, something for the younger kids to probably get into an industry which they probably couldn't have got into anyway. So I understand that. And it also brings money into the club. I understand that. But for Christ's sake, spend the money on the football club. Spend it on players that can make whoever the manager is. We can win stuff. We're in for winning trophies. I was born in 77, the year we got relegated. I've been alive for my whole time being alive as a Spurs fan. We've won 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, and a UEFA Cup. There's fans supporting Tottenham now have never seen us win a trophy. Never.
I'm going to pull up this comment because this is a good friend of mine. He's a Real Madrid fan. And he was texting me last night. I think he put some money on this. He said, Spurs better win tomorrow. And I said, because you said that, because you need us to do what you want us to do, that it's not going to work. Medarius says, Spurs suck big ass. This roster sucks ass. They'll never win anytime soon. And sell Kane. He's been telling me we need to sell Kane for a while. He says Madrid will take him. He can play up there with Benzema, I guess. I don't know. But kick Dyer to the fucking curb. We can't actually blame Dyer today. As much as I love tooting the horn of Dyer needs to get the fuck out of the club, which I still stand by it.
Yeah.
Today doesn't change where I stand, but I've been saying he's not the only one. There's a whole gang of wild cohorts that need to get gone. Quite frankly, their locker's growing mold, in my opinion. You've been here for 10 years. You're doing nothing. It's time to go. I really don't understand why we keep
Jacob,
these. Ben Davies coming up on 300 appearances?
Yeah, I agree with you. I can blame Dyer today. He got on the bus and he sat in the subs bench. I can blame him for something actually going to the fucking game.
He's still there.
He's still there. But look, we all love our club. But how much more of this do we have to go through? How much more heartache? How much more Saturday from being optimistic Saturday morning at Spurs Day? You got Dave coming on with Jack doing that brilliant pump up. We get your shows, on the Friday night, Jacob. You and Michael getting us all ready for the game on Saturday with your unique, lovely, soothing audiobook voice, which you should go into that bio. I agree with
any
me.
Connections out there, hook me up. I will do it. I'll read, I'll do recordings, I'll do it. I went to, actually, Dermot, real quick, I went to college for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I am vocally, I could do it. It's a job I could do. And you know what? I won't just be second half FC or no half FC at this point. That's kind of what I've been leaning on now is I think we're no half FC. They called us second half FC, but where are we at in the second half? I haven't found us either.
I just look. It's got to the point now where I said at the start, I'm done. Look, I'm going Wednesday to the game. I'm going over to England now tomorrow, early Monday morning, and I'm looking forward to spending time with Jack and Dave and seeing Nick and seeing people on YouTube that like Brad Matthews and then seeing the guys then on Wednesday, Philip Brady and Ellie and Ollie and people like that. That's going to be great. But the football bit of it is, I'm done. It's broken me as a fan. 42 years. I'm done tonight. I'm done. And I've never thought I would actually say that as a fan. But I cannot take any more of this. It's broken me in two. And as a fan, that breaks my heart because I love my club. I love Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I really do.
That actually, Dermot, it hurts me to hear because I can feel the pain in your voice when you say that. I can feel that, and that's coming across the ocean. So, Dermot, I'm there with you. I understand the feeling of like just hopelessness, right? I felt that way when we lost to Sheffield, right? This is 2 games in a row. We failed to score against Sheffield. We failed to score against Wolves, who, quite frankly, they were sniffing relegation just a few months ago. This, to me, I don't know.
This team does not deserve top 4. This team does not deserve Champions League, and
that's what I'm saying is that would cover up cracks again for me because I feel like that's almost what it did. I didn't want to believe it last season when we got top 4 that we were covering cracks over. It was okay, Conte magic. I got this little. I love the man. I love Antonio Conte, but it might be time for him to go.
So look, we've had so many cracks at Tottenham that we've got a raving hole in our roof that we keep trying to fix with paper. Oh, that's right, we'll crack it over. Not the Champions League. Oh, that's fine, we'll crack it over. It needs a full reset. It needs a full reset from top to bottom. Now, Mr. Baldy, Mr. Levy has been at Bahrain today speaking to the McLaren chairman.
Yo, he's risking it all with that bald head out there in the sun like that. I'm just saying, I have hair and I still put sunscreen on or wear a hat when it's sunny like that. This man is risking it all with that bald, shiny thing just shining in the sun. I mean, you know how in the road you can see heat waves kind of coming off of the road if it's too hot? I feel like it might be like that, but just sizzling off of his head. He needs to be careful.
He does. And be fair to him, though, he was wearing the Spurs top when he was over there. So we were getting probably, good advertising over there. But look, I miss the good old days. I miss my Tottenham. I miss the 80s. I miss even the 90s, how bad they were. I miss players going onto the pitch and trying. You knew when they went on that pitch that they gave 110%. Even though they were crap, you knew they would die for the shirt. Players today don't die for the shirt. They just go in, get the money, and the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, and the rest of them clowns, please get out of my club. Because you're killing it. This club's on its knees on life support, and between the owners, between the players, nobody cares. The only one that does care is us fans. We're the ones that have to go through it. They don't care if we lose today. They'll get the bus back in luxury, get in their cars, go home to their big houses, and don't worry about it. Yeah. Us fans care. We've come on to these shows to say how much we care, how much we're upset with the defeat today, how much it hurt us on Wednesday. And then the club put out a statement, the board's not very happy on Wednesday. Well, you should have backed the manager with the proper players. Then we wouldn't be going out with these competitions. It's got to a point where you look back at our glorious history. Do you look at the 70s of the Steve Perrimans, the 80s, Graham Roberts, Jimmy Greaves, Danny Blanchflower, Jack White, Dave Mackay, Bobby Smith, all them players, Ray Clements, Gary Mabbott, all them players who bled for our club, who actually died for our club, who would put their foot in and a last-ditch tackle that would come off that pitch dripping of sweat of tiredness because they give 110%. That's all we ask for. And players today don't care. Wednesday was a prime example of players don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Real quick,
it's
I
our
want to address
fans.
this comment. Jamie Beeren says, "What's with all these American idiots supporting Spurs? Just because we may be American doesn't mean we're idiots." And I don't know who else you're referring to because I'm the only American on this show right now. So, well, thanks for being here. Smash the like while you're here. Do it if you think we're an American idiot, but maybe just ask us an actual question rather than trying to talk down on us. That's just a personal thing. But
He's just an idiot. He's just a fucking idiot. Sorry. I've had enough. We've got idiots running our club, and that's just an idiot. You support who you want to support. I'm from Ireland. Does that not give me a right to support my club? Jacob's from America. He has every right to support Tottenham as much as I do.
yeah, and this ain't no Green Day song, so I don't want to hear, oh, I was just quoting Green Day. No, fuck that. I don't listen to Green Day. Anyway, moving on to Spurs, I do want to ask you, we got Milan. Do you think that we're going to score any goals? We need to at least get one to push it to extra time. Do you think that we could go out there and get two, maybe a 2-0 win? Do you think that's possible?
I think we're going to win on penalties, to be honest with you. I can see it going all the way to penalties. I really can. I just got this in. I'm going to put a bet on why over there we're going to win on penalties. I think we're going to win 4-3 on penalty kicks.
That'll be insane if that comes true, Dermot.
I've got a funny feeling, right? And I thought of this last night, and I thought of it today, and I just said, I've got a funny feeling that we might get to another Champions League final. Wouldn't it be like Spurs to do that?
I don't see it. There's no way, Dermot. I love it. I
know. It would just be us to go on some crazy run after everything else we've been through and suddenly get to. No one expected to get to our last Champions League final. To be fair.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't. Yeah, I know we weren't supposed to be there, but I would say objectively our squad was a little better. So it's like wasn't, and also. There's no way the Champions League. I heard someone say on some show, shout out at whoever the fuck, they said that Spurs will go on, beat Milan, then we'll get Dortmund or Besiktas, and then we'll get Dortmund and Inter Milan in the final. And I was like, I would love to see you in the casino, my friend. That's all I would say, because if you could call it like that, that's fitting a square peg in a round hole 9 out of 10 times. And I feel like you just don't do that. No. But real quick, hit a like if you have not. Do it for David. Do it for Jack. Do it for all the work that they put in every single match day. I will repeat. They do this. They stream for like 10 hours every match day. Them folks. So please do hit the like. It helps the channel for them grow. They're on the road to 10K. So please do hit that subscribe while you're here. And thank you for everyone in the chats. Y'all are blowing up the chat. Y'all humble me. That's appreciative. We have over 120 people watching. So we could definitely hit 100 likes. I want to see 100 likes for David. That way at the end of the show, I text Dave. I say, hey, we brought you 100 likes despite the L that we took. We took a fat ass L and we're going to have to smoke on that. So that's just, it's going to be what it's going to be. But we can only do what we can do and just look forward. So Dermot, there's a question I starred and I want to come back to from Daniela Zito. Says, hey Dermot, where do we go from here? It's just depressing at this point. I don't think anyone is looking forward to Milan.
Look, I come on here and Dave infectious me and you do Jacob and Jack does with their infectiousness of how you do your shows, and that gets me going. Look, we may be all down, we may be all depressed tonight, we may be all angry, but by Wednesday morning, I guarantee every Spurs fan worth their salt will be gearing up for the Milan game. We'll be all optimistic again. We'll be at that stadium crying, "Come on, you Spurs!"
David and Jack will be there, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going over with Dave on Monday, and I'm meeting Jack Monday for the first time. So
that's going to be a good time. Y'all got to I would be too hyped. I don't care what our form is.
Yeah.
You're going to a Champions League night at the Lane. That to me is big. That's big. And some Arsenal fans can't say they're doing.
No, that's
quite
true.
frankly. So fuck them. They're at the top of the league, but when you playing?
I haven't been to a night game in a long while. And the last night game we went to, we won on penalties. And that was against Peterborough in the FA Cup back in 93, 94. So it's been a long, long time since I've been to a night game. Look, we've got to get behind Conte if he's there. Look, he may not be there at the end of the season. Let's just back him and back whoever playing. I look, if we lose against Milan, it may be the best thing to happen to us because it
Clear
may
up the schedule a little bit.
Yeah, and also bring things to a head. I think it might just bring stuff to the head. I don't want Poch back because I don't think going back is a very good thing. It's like going back to your ex. You won't go back to your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend or an ex-job.
I wouldn't even go back to Ericsson.
No,
that was just someone who was mean to us. Well, mean to me personally.
But if Poch comes, then I'll back him. But whoever comes in has to be backed, has to be given the freedom, the money, the assurances that he can get who he wants on his own terms. There's no point bringing in a manager, tying one hand behind his back and saying, look, we're going to give you this much, but you got to buy the players I want. And it's got to be done right. And
I heard an interesting theory real quick, Dermot, that I want to throw your way. Someone mentioned on, I believe it was Sava's charity stream. I was on there for like 5-6 hours. So he was streaming for Turkey and Syria, trying to raise money for the earthquake relief funds for the children and stuff. So really good cause. Shout out Sava for doing that. He's a soldier. But someone brought up, because I said, well, look, we just went and got Poro. Emerson's now finally learned how to play as a wingback. We have Perisic. Udogi's coming in. He's a wingback similar to Poro in the sense that he's offensively minded. He will track back, but it's just kind of a question mark sometimes on his defense. I watch Udogi now. I watch Udinese because we got Udogi. So that's my Serie A team that I've been keeping track on. And honestly, I like what I see. He's got a bright spot, but I worry about him defensively a little bit as well throughout 90 minutes. So with that in mind, I made the point, like, I'm a little worried if we sack Conte, we got to go for like Diego Simeone, or do we got to go for someone who plays these wingbacks that everyone hates? But someone brought up, if you brought in Poch, he plays with attacking backs. So they're not necessarily wing backs, but they're attacking backs, and they're forward-thinking backs that are used in the attack. So would that not be too much of a far cry that if we did get Poch in, that at least now we have some decent some decent backs there on the left and the right?
Yeah, it would. I would actually go for a Thomas Frank or a Tuchel. Okay. Tuchel's a Spurs fan, so he knows our DNA. He knows how we play.
I hate Tuchel.
I know that. I know that's another ex-Chelsea manager. I know, but yeah.
And the way he disrespected Conte, I don't want some fucking child manager like that. Same reason why I wouldn't want Klopp. Klopp be crying in front of cameras after matches. I don't care for that kind of behavior.
For me, my own choice would be Thomas Frank of Brentford. I think he's done a wonderful job there. Yeah. And that being my shout, if Conte wants to leave. But look, emotions run high after two really not good two defeats for us. And I still back my early statement, said I think we need a total reset. And I still think if we lose against Milan, it may bring things to the head because all the club care about is top four. Mm-hmm. That's it. Top four is not a trophy. I have to slightly disagree with Mia that I hope we don't get any European football this year if we don't qualify. It may be the thing we need to make everyone wake up and say, right, we've got a world-class stadium. Let's get a world-class team. I want White Hart Lane with world-class players, not a new stadium with a shit team.
I agree with you, Dermot. I agree with you. Real quick, shout out David Jack, whoever's there in the chat. Put my link in there. Real quick, I'm going to shamelessly plug. We're almost at an hour. Please do make sure you hit the like here on Irish Hotspur. But please do, if you do have the time, I humbly will ask you go click this link. Check out United Spurs of America. That's a channel that I do over there with Michael, where I think we're about 48 subs away from 1,000. So that'll be huge once we get there. There's a lot of you in the chat that have already subbed, but if you have not, there's 115 of you watching. So if there's 48 of y'all that haven't subbed, y'all could get me to 1K today, right now. And then you know what? I don't care about the Wolves loss. I'm looking forward to the new stuff that we're going to be doing there on the channel. So shamelessly going to plug myself before we hit the hour mark here on the Irish Hotspur. go on over to United Spurs of America, please. I humbly ask. Again, we're less than 50 subs away. So please do go over there and hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind. Dermot, I want to ask you before I let you go. What do you make of the Sonny in for Richarlison? Richarlison came on, but he came on for someone else. But we saw Richarlison start twice in a row, ineffective. I would argue sloppily, disgustingly nasty, ugly shot in the Sheffield match, which he was playing in his position that he was supposed to be good in. What do you make of that kind of thing going on over there?
I just look, Sonny, for every reasons off it. I said it on that charity stream yesterday. Everyone's worked out Son. Everyone knows what he's going to do. I think Richarlison should have been started today. I think give him more confidence, to get used to playing with Tottenham. But play him in the right position. Play him up front. So if you have to change the formation, try something new. We keep trying this same formation all the time, and it isn't working. So change it. Change the formation. Play Kane and Richarlison up front. Play the two of them. I think Son should not have come on today. I think he should have been on the bench. Pardon me. I think Richarlison should have got the nod. But look, whoever plays today, nobody played well. We should have took our chances, and we didn't, and we paid for that. And again, we go 1-0 down, heads drop, confidence go. So whatever they need to do, if Conte's coming back for the Milan game, he needs to get them all into a room, hang them all up and just give them a showering down. Get Roy Keane in there. Roy Keane would tell them a few home truths.
That's
We
hilarious.
need somebody. It's all right them coming out and saying we've all talked to each other, Jacob, and we all had home truths. And like David said against, I think when we beat Chelsea, we all got to a room together and we all had it out. I don't care. Get somebody in there to batter them to hell. Say, right, you're not getting paid until you put a 4 or 5 game win together. Play for the club, pay for the fans. And that's my point. Nobody plays for the fans. We're the ones.
Turner.
We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, not the players, not Levy, not Conte, not the managers. We are the fans. We make the club. If there was no fans, there'd be no Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They seem to forget that.
Fair enough. Second to last question, because you already know the last question because I asked Mia already. Daniela Zito asked, question for Jacob and Dermot. Would you start Emerson or Porro on Wednesday versus Milan, as Royale just came back from injury and Porro will give an attacking output and he's showing passion when he's playing? I do agree. For me, real quick, he is showing passion when he plays. I am thankful for that. Like I kind of said to Mia in the first 30 minutes, he was the only one I could hear audibly through the broadcast on the pitch. I could hear him shouting and yelling. I love the passion from him. I don't know. It's interesting. I just worry whoever they do start. I would probably say Emerson for me personally. I would start him because of his defensive abilities, or maybe a little bit more confident right now than Pedro Porro, and I just think that Milan's left side's too good. Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leao, just two quality players that can really tear up that side of the pitch. I fear for our defense, quite frankly. So if we're going to have any hope of stopping that, I think Emerson's our only hope.
Yeah.
And as weird as that is to say. What about you, Dermot?
Whoever thought we'd be praising Emerson as highly as we're praising them at the moment? Do you know what? I would actually start with Para. I think he deserved his start after today. He was
Pedro?
the only one who, Para. He was the only one who cared in that first half. That free kick, he was so unlucky. But he was the only one who cared, and I think start him. Though, look, Emerson is big up Ellie, and I hope you're feeling better. Emerson has been playing well, so I can see your point, but I would start with Para. I think he deserves it. He played well today, and I think he was the only one that showed a bit of passion. But
that's fair.
Look, at the end of the day, we've all got to get behind the team. We've all got to. Our club is very divided through Conte in, Conte out, Levy in, Levy out. The fans are divided. The players are divided in the locker room, dressing room. the club. We need to. We're very fractured as a club. The foundations built by Bill Nick, Arthur Rowe, Keith Birkinshaw have gone. The house that Bill Nick has gone, and that's what breaks my heart. So, look, we may win Wednesday. We may be all happy, but for me, Tottenham Hotspur have broken me as a fan. And until somebody buys our club and restores us to who we are, I think I'd be broken until then. And that's my feeling, Jacob. And 42 years, it hurts me to say that, and that's my last words on it.
Fair enough. I'm going to ask you one non-Tottenham question before I let you go, Dermot. But Taggy, do the first part, but not the second part. Don't turn your phone off just yet. Finish this show, then you can turn your phone off and veg out. But just
I agree with him.
A little bit longer.
I agree with Taggy. I think we all need to roll one of them.
Yeah, but you know what they say, man. Sometimes it's needed.
It is.
I always stand by my club, but it's just getting to a point where I dread match day. Full bull, Jacob, give us a wave. Hey,
that's the point I'm trying to make, Jacob. I'll always stand by Tottenham Hotspur, but Taggy hits the nail on the head. You just dread match day, and that's what breaks us. We are great. Our fan base are the best in the world when we're all together, when we're all fighting for one cause. And I miss my Tottenham. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I really, really miss my Tottenham. I want my Tottenham back.
Fair enough. Well, there's the link for THFC Till I Die. You can check out Queen Ellie Højbjerg and the Godfather Philip Brady and this man right here who's been so lovely to join me now 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks now.
3 weeks in a row now.
I love talking to you, Jacob. You're so calming, and also give Højbjerg the bloody captain's armband.
Give him the armband.
Give him the armband.
Give him the armband.
Give him the armband.
But you know what, Dermot? Thank you so much for joining me. Before you go, tell us where we can find you next, and give me at least one thing you are grateful for that is not football related.
As two things was rolled into one. I'm grateful for my family and my friends.
Beautiful. I love it, Dermot.
Yeah, and you can find me over at THFC Till I Die with myself, Queen Ellie, the Godfather Philip Brady, Mia as well, who does it. They all three of them do a fantastic job supporting me and the channel. They all do their best, and I couldn't do the channel without them. They're all legends, every one of them. Me and Philip tomorrow are back at Tree. We're doing a Formula One watch along. So if you're sick of Spurs, you're sick of Tottenham, come over to me and Philip and Brad Matthews as well. We did the qualifying today within around the grounds, so we had a bit of laugh doing that. And I'm trying to convert Philip Brady to a full-fledged F1 fan, as well as Brad Matthews. So that's my season-long goal. Okay. So come over there tomorrow at Tree, and then there'll be plenty of content out in the next few days while I'm in England, and a few pre-records and that. But please, everyone, get over to this man's channel next to me. He's a legend. He's a gentleman. He's one hell of a lovely man to speak to.
Hey, two people subbed. Shout out to two people who did sub when I asked them to. So we are now 46 away from 1,000. Again, 107 of you here. Less than half of you, if you head on over and subscribe to United Spurs of America, get us over that 1K. That'd be beautiful. Dermot, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the conversation. It's helping me digest, because I was a little too fiery when Adama hit that thing in the back of the net. But it's, again, I told everybody, they were laughing, Dermot. They were laughing, but they're not laughing today.
No, I saw that. I did see that last night, and I was thinking, that's a bold one. That is a very bold. And I was looking actually on the bet, and how much shall I put a bet on this now? I didn't put a bet on them. When he scored, I'm thinking, firstly I went, shit, they've scored. Secondly, I thought in my head, why didn't I not follow Jacob's advice?
Hey, sometimes, I may only hit 2 out of 10 times, but that's still 1 out of every 5. Yeah. So come on, baby.
It is. We're getting
big up,
there.
Dermot.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Go check out Dermot at THFC Till I Die. There's the link. You can click it there. Big up, Dermot. Thanks again for always joining. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your weekend, man. I hope you eat good tonight, get some good sleep, and have a better tomorrow.
Yeah, please. God bless you all, and God bless your family. And come on, it's only football at the end of the day. Let's love each other, let's back each other, and let's come on, you Spurs. We can do it on Wednesday.
Hell yeah. Cheers, buddy. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Boom, perfect. Did not cut him off for anything. I didn't cut him off. I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Dan E says Poro is poor defensively. Like Jacob said, they will destroy down that side with Leao and Theo. Trust me, we cannot go with a right wing back in that game who's poor defensively, and that's what scares me a little bit. So, what's up, Jammy? Jammy's in the house. Had to miss the last 10 minutes, typical, and that's when it all happened. Of course, hail the Queen. Levy Enoch pulling us through the mud. Full bull, we lost because our attackers couldn't hit the barn door if it was right in front of them. I would argue that Sonny hit the frame of the barn door a couple times. We were very unlucky. Pedro Porro hit the barn door rim as well. A couple rim jobs out there, I guess you could say. Big up Mick, big up Steve D, still in the house. Everyone's still chatting and chiming, so I love it. This is therapeutic. Please do, if you have any questions for me that you'd like me to star, please do just say question or Q. That way it'll get my attention. I can star it and I can come back to it later. But without further ado, let me welcome in someone who I enjoy speaking with personally, the one and only Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
Yeah, g'day, man. I don't know how long I'll last. I'm not feeling very well at the moment, so I just
Oh
thought.
no, I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
It's all right. Nothing major, just a bit of a cold and shit.
Rich Wise, big up Rich Wise says, love the vibes. Well done today and always. Y'all have made the best of a disappointing day for the Spurs community. Big up. Thank you for saying that. Paul, you're not feeling well. Is it Spurs? Did Spurs make you sick?
I think my disgust for what happened on Wednesday has manifested into a physical illness.
It's manifesting. That's why I try and keep that toxic, negative shit away from me because it
Got it,
can
man.
manifest. You've got to, man. So let's look at some positives here. Wait, I'm looking over my. Hang on, I'm looking. This 90 minutes, I don't see any positives. Did you see any positives in this 90 minutes, Paul?
Well, I saw some because I was drifting in and out of sleep. So the bits when I was asleep were actually quite pain-free. But then I'd open my eyes and just see what was going on the pitch and just, I don't know. This is what happens when you think you're clever in football, when you think you know better and you start fucking around with the formula. We'll pick and choose which games are our priorities,
Yeah.
It's like they gathered up the hopes and the FA Cup hopes and dreams of all the fans, and they put it on an altar and stabbed it with a dagger for as a sacrifice to the football gods. We sacrificed the FA Cup for top four. And there's your answer. The football gods have said, fuck you. You don't do that. You go into every game and play with 100% effort. That's it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. What did you make of the defense, Paul? I know you've been critical. I know you've been you've made a great video here on the Irish Hotspur of Dyer's defending. I'm waiting for the Sanchez one to drop, but didn't see Sanchez. What did you make of our defense today?
I guess it was the problem with our defense is you only know how crap they are when you run at them. They can do all sorts of other stuff and pass it out and da-da-da-da-da. But when you've got players running at them, that's when you see them not putting in challenges and things like that. And so we didn't play Dyer today. What we're practicing for midweek, is that the idea now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, much as I hate Dyer, I suspect he is stronger than Longley in that position, but I don't know. What's the point? Why are we not putting out what we think is our strongest team? Because obviously, whether I would agree with it or not, the hierarchy thinks that Eric Dyer is better in the centre there. So why are we fucking around then? Being clever again.
Paul, you're hitting the nail on the head, my friend. Big up Rob Belcher says, so many times recently we've seen the likes of Dermot, Big David Harris, and so many great content providers absolutely crestfallen as to what's going on with their great football club. It's so upsetting. Paul, I'm going to ask you, you know our history as well as anybody. Are you crestfallen about what's going on with our great football club?
Dude, well, I heard the Dermot there, and I can raise him by another couple of cups because I was born 5 years earlier. So, but look, Wednesday was hard, man. It was hard just to see us do nothing, and today is kind of the same. And we got Milan, and I don't know. I'm still on the canvas. Maybe I'll get up, put a magic sponge down my shorts, and I'll be ready to go again. But I'm kind of in the mood where, even if we get through this, and say if we fluke our way, see if we even win the fucking thing. The way we're playing doesn't inspire me. Winning the Champions League from 4th place in the table. I mean, yeah, I'll probably love it if we win it, but I don't know. The championships always, the European Champions League always used to be just the winner of each country. So when you sneak in as 4th place on the last day of the season, and you're nowhere near as good the next year, and you fluke your way at the final, look, I'm on the canvas, man. I might totally change when we come up to Wednesday. It might be all cool.
Hey, that's fair enough. I must say I haven't been following Tottenham as long as you have, Paul. So I've been holding out hope. I've been, hanging on to any little dear bit that I can. Big up Mick asking how I'm doing. I'm doing well, Mick. I hope you're doing well as well. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Sorry about today, man. Spurs tough. Full Bull has a question they're gonna ask. So I'm gonna ask you, Paul, and then I'll answer. What's going on with Danjuma? Haven't seen him. I thought we subbed Lucas Moura on instead. I mean, he's not even have a future here, Paul. What's going on? Why can't Danjuma get in ahead of Lucas Moura?
I don't know. I'm confused. Is he? I don't know. Is he not as good? Why have we got him then? What is he? Is he the Lucas Moura replacement, or?
I guess it was the Brian Heel replacement. I said he's a better version of Lucas Moura.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the business we do, man. Like I heard what Mia said earlier about getting through stages and more money and it's all sustainable. But I think we need less money because whatever money we have, they piss up against the wall anyway. So maybe we need zero revenue and just I don't know. I don't get it. The whole Brian Hill deal does my head in. How that even is possible. Richarlison and Jed Spence alone, $80 million. Is that the best way we could have spent $80 million? Is it really? And then we got this Danjuma loan thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. You'd think you'd get players in that you'd put in the first team.
That's kind of what I was hoping. Whenever we did business in the summer, I thought Perisic, okay, that's going to impact the 11. Basuma, I thought, okay, that's maybe going to impact the 11. And then everything else after that was nothing to the 11. January comes around, we do the Poro thing, took 31 days. That's fine. We get him in. Hasn't been great. I want to ask you, Paul, what do you think about Pedro Poro? 4th start, 4th loss, or 3rd start, 3rd loss, something like that. What do you make of what you've seen from him so far?
I'm still hopeful of Pedro. I think you've got to be patient with players as well when they come in. Okay. It's not all instant sometimes. Sometimes it could take 6 months, a year, for a player to come good. And all you're really looking for, all I'm really looking for is, that gradual improvement, the way they slot in. You start to see glimmers of what they can add to the team. Going back years, I can remember when we bought player Chrissy Waddle. And he sort of struggled a bit in his first few months, but there were always flashes of what he could do. And then the next season, he was amazing, blew everyone off the pitch. So I'm not saying that this guy will do that, but I think you've got to be a little bit patient. It's a new country, new team. He's settling in. And I'm seeing signs of things I like. Yeah. I like the free kick he took so much. I mean, what?
Why didn't no one else fucking did.
No one else fucking did on the pitch though, right? Oh, you hit the bar there. That's it, loser. You're not taking another one.
And then Kane's now it's my turn to hit the wall.
Hit the wall, yeah. Stopping them up. Yeah. What?
I feel like they struck a deal with Harry Kane. They're like, okay, let them take it, but for every one they take, you get to take the next one, and then they take one, as in the committee of Son, Dyer, now Poro, whoever, Perisic, y'all. They all get to take one. Y'all pick amongst yourselves. Y'all get one. Kane gets one. They get one. Kane gets one.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. I thought for sure I wanted to see Poro take another whack at that thing. I mean, he put some mustard on that ball. I thought he bent the fucking frame. That's just
Yeah.
it looked nice.
I mean, the thing about Porro, and I mean, this is just like the luck of Spurs, I suppose. Soon as he signs, Emerson comes good. And I don't know if those two things are linked, or I understand that Emerson's had his own personal training or whatever. So whether I don't know if that signing has given him a little bit more motivation, or whether he was going to come good anyway. So now we've got a tough choice in that position, Emerson or Porro. We could have strengthened another position, but I don't know. These things happen at Spurs sometimes.
Something brought up by Onis Bailey, big up Onis, says our defense is better than our attack in recent games, but they get more ridicule. Do you think that this is true?
No, look, and I was on a channel briefly before I got a bit of a migraine this morning. Right, your defense, like your attack, is responsible for winning your games, right? And your defense is responsible for not losing. So you can't lose a game by having a shit attack, and you can't win a game. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I agree with you, Paul, because if the defense did their job, it'd be 0-0.
That's right, exactly.
If
So
our
there's been a
offense
whole
did our
lot.
job, it would have been 1-1 based on what happened. But if the defense and the offense did their job, it would be 1-0, and we'd be fine. We'd have been
That's right.
unimpressed, a boring 1-0 win, but we grinded it out, and we didn't even get that.
And I've heard this thing, where people have, you're blaming the defense too hard for losing the games when the attacking hasn't been scoring. It's like, well, okay, but then they should be draws, shouldn't they? And the fact is, our defense has cost us so many games this year. So many games.
Taggy says, give all the subs some pitch time. What's the worst that can happen? Actually, I thought the subs today, the timing was too late. Another example of was Conte at the stadium in an earpiece or something telling him no subs? Because I thought he would have made a sub for sure. We didn't see one until the 77th minute and then the 81st minute, and that's when we kind of went defensive, and then Adama scored, and then we put in Richarlison, and it's like that time is too late. It's just
it's like so Conte's sitting there and he thinks, oh, I've got to make a substitution. So he gets the messenger boy in his Fiat Uno, drive to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium immediately with this important message. And
here it
comes. Oh, Senor. It's like, and this is one of the things that really frustrates me about this management is the substitutions always come 65th, 70th minute at the minimum instead of. I'm surely there's scope for during games where you give the players a bit of a bollocking at half time and say, right, you've got 5 more minutes before I'm taking you off, and you off. I'm not seeing us use substitutions to change games, and you've got to be brave with it. Like the best example I can remember, like the World Cup final, where France are on the ropes. Deschamps takes off some of their best players and changes the game. And France they don't win it, but they get very, very close because they were rubbish. That's what the manager's got to do. You can't just start. And you can't just swap like for like players either. We swap players, but we don't change from the 3-4-3.
A little bit stubborn, I thought. And that's kind of been what we've done over the past, and we haven't learned from it. So it's kind of baffling for me. Spurs for life. This is a comment that'll get your attention. I don't know if you're doing that for that reason, but I disagree with you. In both of these statements, says we would have won if Dyer started. I would say we probably would have conceded twice if Dyer started. Dyer's world class. He's not any class. He didn't even get a ticket on the plane, not even business class.
Don't be patrolled, Jacob, man. That can't be serious. No way. World class.
Big up Steve D. Steve D's still in the house. He's been here since the show started over an hour and 22 minutes ago. And if you were here, or if you've been here as long as Steve D, or you just got here, please do hit that like on the way in or out. It will do wonders for Dave and Jack. I do got to plug it for him just because, come on, let me check the likes. We got 110 watching, 100 watching, and 88 likes. Okay, we could get that a little bit closer to 100 maybe before the show ends. that would be huge. Also, I do want to say special shout out to the individuals who did go over to United Spurs of America and give me a humble sub. We are now 45 subs away from 1,000. So big ups to the couple of you that went over there and did that. Let's see. Philly says, don't y'all see that Conte is giving Lucas playing time to get him ready for a deep Champions League run? This has got to be a joke. But I did have a little bit of that thought. Maybe we're just making sure he's fit because we need some Lucas magic in the Champions League. Let me ask you, Paul. AC Milan on Wednesday. What are you thinking, man? How you feel?
Like I said, man, I'm on the canvas. Okay, but let's, Mickey's in the corner. Get up, you bum. Okay. All right. Look, I think there's a chance we could. Let me go back to what I thought after the first AC Milan game. Let's erase these abominations of games. And after the first AC Milan game, I thought not a bad result. I thought we played okay, and to come away 1-0 down in the San Siro, I thought was all right, and I thought that was more than possible for us to overturn it at White Hart Lane. So. I still think we can.
Okay.
If the football gods have forgiven us for fucking them.
I was gonna say we're gonna need some help outside of the starting 11. It doesn't matter to me at this point what starting 11 you go with. Steve D, there's more flair in the chat than on the park. Hey, can't argue with that. That's how it always is over here at the Irish Hotspur. The chat is live. A lot of fireworks here. Everyone's actually brought passion to the chat. Something we did not see today. But I thought Pedro Porro had some passion, but outside of that, not much passion going around. Guys, it was weird that Dyer didn't start over Longley as Dyer is suspended for AC Milan. Daniela, I think that this was because that he's not going to be playing for AC Milan, so they wanted to see Longley maybe get a run at it in the central defender there. So maybe that's why. That's my theory, that we wanted to try and get Longley up to speed. I thought he struggled, but you know what?
I think it's such a weird thing to do, though, man. I mean, don't they do training during? Isn't that's what training's for? I don't understand that. Like, let's have a practice, Longley, in a live fucking game in the league. Yeah.
But I mean, I think we do that. We do that though. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I agree with you, Paul. This is something you're supposed to work out on the training pitch, not on the game day. But such is the state of Spurs. I'm sad to say. Levy invested 200 million. What else should he do? Invest 200 million in the right places is what I would say.
Absolutely, man.
Taggy, the NHS is running better than Spurs right now. I don't know how the NHS has been run. I'm over here in the States, but if it's anything like the States, it is not good. Paul, I'm struggling to find the words, my friend, but where's the hope coming from for Tottenham Hotspur?
Well, you know what? And it was something Dermot touched on, and I think he said when he was born, Spurs were relegated. So we were in the old second division. And within 3 years from that, we were winning the FA Cup, another couple of years winning European Cups, third in the first division. So even when you're right down on the ropes, it doesn't actually take that long to turn things around if everything's working and pulling in the same direction. Now, as to when that will happen, who knows? Maybe it will take a sale of the club or different management or different director of football. I don't know what it will take. But when it does happen, the improvement and turnaround is very quick, and that's due to the size, I think, of the natural size of the club itself. So its fan base, which, even when you take out all the tourists and all that, there's a lot of people around the world that have a lot of feeling for this club, and there's a lot of people that go to the games, spend their money on the club, and I think as soon as we get it right, we will fly.
Okay. Do you agree with this comment here from Peter Simons? It's kind of in the same breath. He says, I thought we played well today, just couldn't put it in the net. Do you think we played well today?
We might have played well in the bits where our eyes are sleeping, but when I have my eyes open, so it's possible. Peter's right. I'm not saying he's wrong, man.
That's hilarious, Paul. I fucking love talking to you, man. Dan Juman should have been in today over Paris. I started this from Dunkelstork. Sorry about that, bud. It says, so we want a tired long lay for Wednesday instead of a fresh one. I think it's wasn't he?
Don't give me this tired shit, man.
He was about to get subbed off, wasn't he? But he didn't. Dyer did not come in, but he was about to. I saw him warming up over there. I thought that's just my theory. I could totally be wrong, Dunkel. I really just think it's one of those matters where you want to see it in game. You want to see Longley run that middle for a second so he could at least, it's not so foreign to him on Wednesday. Maybe he's going to be a little bit tired, but Paul, you said, I don't want to hear this tired shit. What do you think?
Even if you're playing 2 games a week, why are players tired? What's all this tired business? They're at the peak of, they're way fitter than players used to be when I used to go and watch games, you know? So I don't get this excuse of resting players are tired when you've run around 90 minutes on a day and then you need a whole fucking week to recover from that. Jesus, man, it's a pathetic excuse. And while I'm on this subject, the other pet peeve I have is when I hear people say, the players aren't playing for the manager. Well, the players should be playing for their own fucking pride, their family, their friends, the fans, all of that. Besides the manager, you don't think, I'm not happy with the manager. I don't like with the manager. I'm just going to go and stroll around like a bloody hobo. You know, you're a professional footballer. So, resting tired. What, so Longley's going to be tired after that huge shift he put in today, eh? Oh, bless him.
That's hilarious. Paul, I always like it when you call. Let's see what the chat's saying here. Big up Khaled's in the house, or Khalid, however you want to say it. The club requires a root to branch change from top to the scouting team. Hit the reset button. I agree with you, buddy. Need a full cleansing. I think there's just so many systematic problems. Yeah, Paul, burn it down. I just think there's just so many problems from top to bottom that, I mean, how do you get rid of an infestation? You got to just burn it and rebuild it. And I think that's kind of at the point where a lot of us are getting to, where we just need some changes, man. There's too much deadwood, not the right players getting scouted or brought in. But then also when we do scout the likes of Kim Min-jae, Kavicha, these are players that we're like, we're not going to spend the extra 5 or 10 on them. We got to have someone that's making better decisions for the club, in my opinion. Philly ain't from Philly. Perisic's been shit since the World Cup. Been playing too much football for his age. Daniela, Jacob, AC Milan are playing at the moment, and one of their center backs, Thiaw, are on a yellow card. And if he gets another yellow, he is suspended for Champions League on Wednesday or the next Serie A match. Who are they playing? I wonder who's winning. I like to usually watch our opponents, but I'm going to be missing that. We never turned up for the second half, says Kev Williams. How is that playing well? Pains me to say it, but we are a demotivated, sulking-looking team right now. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on, Kevin Williams? I don't know. Not anything good, in my opinion. I think Conte has lost the dressing room. Spurs for life. That's a good point you bring up, because this is something, Paul, when I asked Dermot, do you think the fact that Conte hasn't signed an extension, that whether he's been offered one or not, there hasn't been any progress there, do you think they've just given up on Conte? They don't want to play for his system anymore?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That should not be the case. You know, even if they hate Conte, because whatever, they hate his methods. When you get out on the pitch, don't you just try your best anyway? And I know our players have a history of downing tools, like they did, Mourinho, Zagreb, and and just giving up. But that's inexcusable. I mean, I know it's worth reminding people. I guess they're on like £200,000-300,000 a week. And that's paid for by fans and people that buy Tottenham Hotspur shit, and or the other fine services that Tottenham Hotspur offer these days.
When's the Tottenham hair salon coming out?
I don't know, man. It's like that stadium thing you were reading out earlier. It's like it reminds me of gambling adverts in Australia where everyone fucking wins all the time, and then at the end it just says it's like asterisk gamble responsibly. That it's like that Tottenham Hotspur is like we also play football games here. It's like they're almost fucking ashamed of it.
Yeah,
So
it's a sad state of affairs.
yeah, I don't care if they hate him. You go out and play for fuck's sake, because you're ripping fans off. Like Wednesday, okay.
But these are the same players, Paul, that got fucking Podge fired. They got Jose fired. Well, not Jose fired because he got fired because he played a weaker squad for Southampton. But they...
Oh, no motivation. Oh, bless them. Oh, they need motivation. They need someone to give them a bit of a fluffing, do they? Before they go on set. Fucking hell, man.
Paul, you crack me up.
And like maybe it's because of... Hang on, I'm just going to have a cough. Hang on.
Kevin Williams, has Conte given up on Spurs? He ain't even in England. I don't know.
Don't make me laugh, man. Oh, no. Is there a game on today?
Yeah. Do you think he's at the AC Milan game watching as like just in the stands or something? On TV at least? Do you think he watches the matches on TV? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, the Italian equivalent of a novella or something. I don't know.
Football had a question about almost 20 minutes ago. I want to ask you real quick before I let you go. Is Sonny and Kulu out of form or suffering from ED?
Oh, what's ED? Are we talking about like the Pele affliction here, or
what's the Pele affliction?
He advertised Viagra for a bit.
I think it's that, yeah.
Right. Look, I don't know, Sonny, man, what's going on with him? He's turning into...
He was our best player today, and that's my opinion. I'm sticking my heels in.
Yeah. But he is turning into Lucas Moura. He's just running into dead ends all the time,
He was trying a little too hard, I thought. But at least he was fucking trying, is my opinion. Kane was man-marked out of the game, but you're fucking Harry Kane. We need you. I thought Harry Kane suffered today because of that man-marking. Dan Kulusevski, for me, was unimpressive once again. He had 2 good licks of the ball. That's about it. I got to see more.
Yeah.
Spurs says, I think Kane should be benched after today's performance. No manager has the balls to rest Kane. I just think it's like in his contract or something. There's no benching Kane. You can't do it.
I think it's...
Not in the Premier League.
The form and motivation, I think it's just it's a condition of the modern player. Like years ago, a lot of these players would grow up in impoverished areas where the only way out was to either become a football player or a rock star. And so they had a lot of hunger and a lot of desire, and all they would do is kick a ball around all the time from the age they were 2. Whereas now, maybe they get, selected as, maybe they're an athlete and they get selected as a soccer ball prospect and sent off to some fucking academy somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're pampered and da-da-da-da-da. More ice in your iced tea, sir. Oh, thank you. Massages. And you see the Spurs player. The club is so tone deaf on their social media, man. Like the
don't
day
even
after,
get me fucking started on the Twitter admin.
Man, come on.
Bro, don't get me started. We just lost to Milan. They're like, back to work.
Back to work with the fist, man.
I'll punch you in the fucking face if I seen that Spurs admin in the street. I'm sorry, that's foul, and that's not. What the fuck was that? Back to work in the gym. Shut the fuck up.
I held my fist up to the camera even though I haven't got it switched on because that was the thing. It was like, oh, fuck you guys.
Back to work.
We're
going to get him next time, y'all.
Yeah. And
he's bringing it this time.
And they're sitting in there on the, on sponges and fucking, rubber bands.
Rolling on a rolly pad. Like, I'm sorry, be on the fucking pitch. And I know they released some pictures of them on the pitch. They're like, no one's gonna hate on a picture of fucking Romero and Skip, right? Because everyone loves Romero and Skip. There you go. Back to work, Paul. That's what I'm gonna say next time next time I'm at work or something. The manager calls you into the office. They're like, why didn't you put in these reports and why did you fail to meet these deadlines? I'm back to work, baby.
That's
What the
it.
fuck? They're gonna be like, but what did you do? Nothing? Have you done nothing these past few days? I'm back to work, though.
Yeah, Emerson Royale, Player of the Month nomination. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up, please, for one day.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
Give it
You're
24
killing me.
hours before you say something else. It's baffling me. It's so tone deaf. They got a whipping on social media. I know that much. They probably turned off notifications. So did no one? Here's something else. Why have we? This is one of my second to last question for you, Paul. Before I let you go, so I asked this question: why have we had more social media managers come into our club in the last 5 years than center backs?
Oh man, because it's a symptom of the modern world. It's this thing called UX, user experience, and all it is all these wankers coming in and taking their little piece of the pie in the name of value add. And it's all bullshit, and it's all just sponging money and screwing people. And you're going to get me onto dismantling the whole of fucking capitalism in a moment, just because of that one little comment, Jacob. You're going to set me off, man.
Well, let's save that for pop up with Jacob, where I think
right, man.
it's a little bit more of a free form format. And I would love to hear your take actually on capitalism. Honestly, between you and I. But we'll save that for United Spurs of America.
For later, right?
Yeah, we'll save that for one of those late night convos. Paul, before I let you go, give me one thing you were thankful for that is non-Spurs related, my friend.
Your cheeky little idiot American face, because earlier, what was it, yesterday, I still needed to expunge a bit of, poo from Wednesday, and I was looking around for Spurs channels, and, I saw a few, but it was like CNN or Fox. There's just fucking 9 heads screaming over each other, and my 50-year-old, cold-infected brain, it wasn't nice for it, and then I went on to United Spurs of America, and there's you and Michael. And I felt like I just walked in to, put my smoking jacket on, giving a cheeky wink to the piano player in the corner, lit up a cigar and relaxed. And the way you two talked about the FA Cup and everything, it felt how I felt. And it was very nice. And it got this last little nugget out. So thank you very much, Jacob and Michael.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for tuning in to United Spurs of America. That means a lot to me, and thank you for saying that you like the vibe that we got going on over there, because that is something we try to do. Our Wolves preview stream was a little bit more pessimistic than normal, or maybe apathetic is a better word. It's a little bit more apathetic than normal, but I still try to find some happiness wherever I can, because at the end of the day, sometimes life is so damn tough, you just need an escape. And if Spurs is not good and life is not good and you're looking for your escape, and I just wanted to be able to, you come over United Spurs of America, you can come over here, fan show, Irish Hotspur if I'm here, and I'm going to do my best to help everyone get it off their chest, help everybody feel better. So that's what it's about. We're a community, so we got to come together during the dark times. Ain't that right? And then tomorrow it's right. Back to work. Back to work. Big up, Paul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for the conversation and friendship, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, man. Good chatting to you.
Take care, Paul. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. Well, that's been fun. This is number 4 of the fan shows that I have done here on the Irish Hotspur. I'm so thankful for the 70, 80 of y'all that have been here since the beginning. I know we dipped up over like 120, 130, but there's been 70, 80 of y'all that have just stuck around, and I am so thankful for y'all. You know who you are. You've also been in the chat, so I'm thankful for everyone in the chat. I did start a comment here I do want to bring up, and I will answer it real quick for you. Khalid, Do you think age has caught with Sonny? He's playing deeper cam position instead of his usual center forward role. For me, I've said on my show, I've said on mini streams that I think what's affecting Son is where he's playing and what he's being asked to do throughout the 90 minutes. The reason why he's coming in as a sub and we're seeing some effectiveness, kind of this super sub role, if you will, is because when he comes on, he's not being asked to do the things he would normally be asked to do that we were seeing Richarlison do in his stay. To me, that's what's affecting his game this season. He just won the Golden Boot. I refuse to believe that this drop off of a cliff is so catastrophic to this level. It's an issue of confidence. It's an issue of frustration. But the man has admitted it. He said he watches back his game film and he wants to see what he could do better. He's acknowledged the problem, and that's the first step to fixing anything, in my opinion. In life and football, first you have to acknowledge the problem, know that there's a problem, and address it and do something to change it. And I think that's what he's trying to do. Just a little frustrated he couldn't get it done today. But big ups to everyone. Big up, Paul. Thank you for being here. Let me see. Daniela says, Jacobson Dermot said win on penalties earlier. That's been stuck in my head. I thought, imagine if we actually do win on pins. Scenes would be crazy. It would be absolutely insane. Pins make me sweaty. They make me anxious. They make me all the crazy adjectives. Penalties, my heart hates penalties, but that's a good time. So if we won on penalties, it'd be absolute scenes, but I will be sweating bullets. Definitely will need a shower after that if we do go to penalties versus Milan. Big up Philly. Hope you're doing well out there in New York. All I've got less to do is dress up silly and play golf. Big up Daniel Field, been in the house. Big up Stevie D's been in the house. Big up Spurs for Life has been in the house. I just want to shout out y'all before I sign this thing off. Respect, Jacob. Big up, Khaled. Big up. Thank you for being here. And thank you for everyone who has hit that like. I see 95 likes on there. If we can't, please try and get 5 more likes on this for David and Jack. They do such tremendous work for the community, for the fans, for the viewers, myself included. We wake up on game day, they're here. Throughout the game, they're here. After the games, they're here. Tomorrow, they're going to be here. The next day, they're going to be here. They're always here. So that's what I'm saying. We should hit the likes for them. Get the likes up. Get the shares up. Get them subscriptions up for the Irish Hotspur as well. They're on the road to 10K. So if you haven't subscribed yet, if you haven't shared this video or other videos from the Irish Hotspur with your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, they all want to watch this channel. So please, please, please hit that like if you haven't already. I see 98 likes. We're up there. We need 2 more. Come on, 2 more. And then we have 100 likes. That'll be huge, man. That'll be huge, ladies and gentlemen. So please, Matero. I don't know how to say your name, my friend, but you've been here since the beginning too. Let me shout you out. Happy weekend. I hope everyone has a happy weekend and a blessed weekend as well. Stay safe out there. I do want to apologize to the fans who traveled to Sheffield and then traveled to Wolves. If you traveled to both of those and you ain't seen anything good lately, so I want to shout y'all out as well. If y'all do tune into this program. So big up yourself. Y'all were tremendous. We could hear you through the telly over here in the States. So keep doing what you're doing. And if you are going to the Milan game, big up Jack. He's going to be there. Big up Dermot. He's going to be there. Big up David. He's going to be there. I believe Ellie's going to be there as well. So big up everyone. I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all enjoy it. And I hope it's amazing scenes. I wish I could be there to witness it live and direct. But I will be tuning in from across the pond. Steve D, nice one. Jacob, too calming. Hey, that's what it's about. Try not to get too high, try not to get too low. But either way, that's just the way the roller coaster go. So big up yourself, Steve D. You've been immense in the chat today. Smash up the likes if you haven't already. We're on 99. One more like. There's one of you out of the 75 still watching that ain't hit that like. I think we got one more like in us before I say goodbye. That's really what I've been waiting on. I'm just kind of doing a stalling tactic. I think a pilot would call it where they just kind of circle the airport before they land. I don't know what they call that. Whatever they call that. Anyway, there's 101. We got 2 of y'all to like it. Big up, major up. Thank you so much. That's huge. I appreciate y'all doing that for me, doing that for David, doing that for Jack. It shows that we're doing something right over here. And I know that y'all have made me feel better tonight. I hope that I've brought a little bit of calm to an otherwise stormy, rocky boat situation we got going on over here at Tottenham Hotspur. But you know what? If you haven't already, If you didn't know, I am Jacob, one half of United Spurs of America. I humbly ask you one last time, if you haven't, please do consider going over there and giving us a subscription. It's free. It costs you nothing. We are 45 subscribers away from 1,000 over at United Spurs of America. That would be huge if we could hit that. But either way, if you have or you have not, just thank you for being here. I hope you have a better tomorrow than today. The sun will come out tomorrow, and this is not Annie Jr. or Annie. The sun's going to come out. So you know what? Please do try to just be happy. Hug the people you love. Be with the ones you love. Daniela, Jacob, when is your next stream? We're going to be doing probably a little pop-up show either this weekend or on Monday. Michael and I will be doing a little pop-up show because he's got the weekend off. So we will be doing that then. Please do go over there, hit the like and subscribe, and you will get notified of when we go live. But until next time, I hope next fan show I'm able to do is a little bit more happy. But if it is not, you can still come here and yell at me. I'll give you a hug at the end. Maybe my wife will make us cookies. We can share some cookies. But either way, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for helping us hit 100 likes on this video. Thank you so much for being a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. And even if you don't support us, if you're just here to hate and laugh, that's fine too. Big up yourself. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We look forward to Wednesday versus Milan at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Until then, there's only one thing left to say, but come on, you Spurs. As always, kuss, 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 kuss.